we're going to do this. One quick breaking news. This was about Trump walking out, and Alina Habba got threatened by the judge, threatened to put her in jail. At one point, it got so out of control.
All right, we do have breaking news. A whole lot going on all of a sudden inside the closing arguments in the defamation damages trial against Donald Trump. Trump walked into the courtroom late. He walked out when the plaintiffs were delivering their closing arguments. At one point, the judge had to warn defense lawyers they were close to being thrown in the lockup. Let's get right to CNN's Carroll, who ran out from inside that courtroom to give us an explanation of what was going on. Kara, what have you been seeing?
Yeah, John, an eventful day this morning, to say the least, that had nothing to do with even the closing arguments. So it began, as you say, when Donald Trump's team was already late, which the judge noted when he took the bench. Then Donald Trump did enter the courtroom, and they were arguing still, before the jury even got in there, about a slide that the Trump's team wanted to use in their presentation. And Carroll's lawyer said it included things that were not in evidence in the case. The judge
See, once again, trying to admit evidence that wasn't included. I mean, this is just a fucking shit show. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Where was it? But yeah, no, the whole thing was just a nightmare. And at one point, Habba was being so disruptive, the judge threatened to find her in contempt and have her arrested after the proceeding if she didn't calm down. I mean, it just got bad. But all in all, it still ended Thursday, and this is how it ended. The jury found for the plaintiff $83.3 million in damages.
Aaron's reporting right now the Manhattan federal court on Friday ordered Donald Trump to pay E. Jean Carroll $83.3 million for defaming her. Now, the jury, Phil, according to Katersky's reporting, broke that up into two categories. They awarded $18.3 million in compensatory damages and $65 million in punitive damages. And, obviously this is a ruling that didn't take, as you noted, long for this jury to get to. It took them just under 3 hours. Donald Trump not in court for that. But that is a remarkable number. I mean, they were looking for about $10 million. But then to see the punitive damages for in particular, and Brian would know far better than me, I mean, that's really the jury weighing Donald Trump's statements. And clearly, that is a number that really added a gut punch to Donald Trump.
Yeah, no shit. It's almost $100 million. That's a lot of fucking money. So what ended up happening was, and I'm sure his behavior factored into it. E. Jean Carroll's lawyers were saying, maybe $10 million. That's kind of what they were asking for. They came back and said, okay, compensatory damage, compensation for the victim, right? To compensate her for her damages to her and her losses, right? They said $16 million, whatever it was. A little bit more than that, 18 million, whatever it was. Then they said, okay, punitive damages. Punitive means punishment.
Okay.
So punishment to Donald Trump to try and teach him a lesson.
So his spanking.
Right.
These damages are essentially his spanking.
Right. The first one is, no, give the kid back the toy you took. This is now, right. This is how much time.
Now we're going to give a spanking to the kid who took it.
Right. Or now you got to go stand in the corner, right, for X amount of time. And they said, okay,
yeah, we'll make it a corner.
Yeah, for punitive damages, for the punishment, $65 million. And you can't tell me him walking out of court and his attorney's actions and all that didn't lead to them going, you know what, this guy's a fucking shit show. We really need to hammer it. Otherwise, this is going to keep going on. And I give the jury credit for that. They did that. They did their job. But while they were deliberating, less than 2 hours, actually, they had lunch, and then they spent like an hour and some change deliberating, came back, $83 million. That's a short amount of deliberation time. That's a pretty quick decision. On top of that fact, which was so funny, is while the closing arguments were going on, deliberation, and even after they awarded her $83.3 million, Trump has been on Truth Social defaming her again. So now she's got a third defamation case she can bring against him. So she can bring another one of these against him. Even 83.3, he won't learn. He will not fucking learn.
I don't know why I'm shocked he cannot figure it the fuck out. But, like, him opening his mouth keeps being very expensive. At some point, that weaselly little brain of his needs to supply him with the thought, when I open my mouth, it costs me a lot of money.
Yeah. Well,
you know, and I say, you know what? You go, girl. You keep throwing those lawsuits at him because somebody needs to teach this man a lesson. He's been allowed to take away the little kid's toy as much as he wanted his whole life. And then somebody just tells him, oh, it's your toy, Donnie.
yeah.
It's your little toy now. You know, instead of being like, no, it's not your fucking toy.
Yeah, give it back.
Give the toy back to the person and go stand in that corner and think about what you fucking did.
Yeah. It's 78. I don't think he's going to change. But I think part of it, too, he was kind of elated.
He's not going to change. He'll die before he changes.
Yeah, well, he was elated, I think, because he did win in New Hampshire.